Well, hello everyone. How's it going? I am Cinematic Joshua, and you are here at the Rated Awesome Show. This time, a special edition because it's all horror new releases of 2025. It's been a phenomenal year for horror, and I thank you for coming in. We're gonna have a nice chat. If anyone is gonna be in the comments, I would love to hear from you all. If you have any questions about horror movies this year that came out, tell me about them. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. I would love to hear it. This is my very first YouTube live stream. I have gone live a dozen times, I want to say, on TikTok, and I am at TikTok at Cinematic Joshua. Please follow me along there. But of course, here, like it, like the stream, tell your friends. I'm gonna be here for at least an hour. I'm going through all of what happened in 2025, and hopefully you can find some kind of enjoyment or some kind of recommendations or some kind of use for this, right? That's what we're hoping for. So I want to make sure it's sounding good. Let me know if it's sounding okay. Oh, was I too far off the mic that time? Ooh. We're going to test this. Yeah, it sounds like it's very low. Very low. Okay. Well, maybe I need to be closer to it then. Maybe you didn't hear anything I just said. I gotta remember to look over there too, because I'm looking at the screen and it's a little lower. So obviously I gotta work on that. I gotta work on having a webcam. That's a new thing for me too. So let me just go ahead and pop into the settings. I want to make sure it sounds good. I'm gonna pop up the microphone. Oh, what? Why did that went? Oh, it went way down. That's weird. Okay. All right. Well, it just went way down all of a sudden. I had it all the way up and it went, it's going down as we speak. Why is it going down by itself? Wow. Stop doing that. That is so weird. Does it like, look, it's going down by itself. I'm watching the volume. Well, I did not like that at all. I did not like that at all. Well, technical difficulties, I guess you could say. I'm still working on it. Why is it going all the way down to 0? Oh my God. Now it's on 8. I'm watching the volume go down by itself. I don't know how to fix that. Never happened before. Now, of course, it's doing it. Now I'm live, which is not helpful at all. Well, you know, you live and you learn. I got to start doing it sometime. Get on there, because what's nice about YouTube is it keeps your live shows in a nice little folder on your videos, your popular ones, your shorts, and which I have a lot of, and then bam, live. So all the live shows, and this is for November 3rd, 2025, a historic occasion because it's my first time going live on YouTube. And of course, no one's in here yet, but I'm going to go and said, hey, what have you seen? What have you loved in horror for 2025? Let's pin that maybe. That's a thing. I'm sure it's a thing. Oh, love all these things in the way. Yeah, and then if this microphone goes low, though, that's going to be a big problem. Why does it do that automatically? Wow. I've never heard that happen before. I mean, I'm keeping it loud there, and it just lowers it by itself all the way down to 8. That is a weird thing. Well, I will definitely have to research that, because that's super frustrating. I mean, it sounds the same in my headphones, so who knows? Maybe I'll have to remix it and then re-upload it, because I'm pushing it again, and it's stop going automatically down. I don't want to mess with this the whole time. This is super lame. All right, well, super lame it is. But hey, what's not lame is the slate of 2025 horror movies we got. And we got 3 big ones we're going to talk about in a little bit that are coming out in this month, November, as well as December. Before we do that, though, I want to talk about a few movies that are not going to be on this list. I saw 34 new released horror movies for 2025. And I missed a few of them from the theaters. Some with limited screenings, some maybe streaming as well. So I'm going to talk about a few of those right now. Number one, I'm going to be seeing very soon is Primitive War. If you consider that a horror movie, it's a really thin line between, adventure, creature feature, and horror. Thriller as well in there. It's always the line between horror and thriller, and some people say Jurassic Park's a horror movie. I get horror elements, but would they call it a horror movie? I would not. I call it adventure, sci-fi, action. So Primitive War, I have not seen it yet, but I'm dying to watch it because I do love the Jurassic Park series and Jurassic World series, and this is going to be finally another movie with amazing visual effects of dinosaurs. You could be like, this is a real dinosaur chasing me, chomping on me right now. And apparently there's a lot of kills in this one as well. And, during the Vietnam War. And I can't wait to watch it. It's a low budget movie, but it looks better than low budget. So I'm going to be renting that, which I never do, but I will do it because of Primitive War. And it deserves it. It looks fantastic. It really does. All right. So I also did not see VHS Halloween. I've seen almost all the VHS movies. I like them okay. They're not one of my favorite franchises at all, but I have seen them, most of them, and I've not seen this one. I don't have AMC or Shudder anymore. So one day I will get it again and I will watch that, but it's not on my immediate list to see right away. I do hear that VHS Halloween is pretty good. I do like to have a theme of Halloween. Every actual short movie is involving Halloween, the Halloween theme in some way. That's a great way to tie them all together. A lot of times they have them, it's kind of like, a few good ones, but also like, why is it one an alien one with a bunch of different ones, or with all alien ones and this one's not an alien one? So what is the reason for that? There's a lot of problems keeping it connected there, really. So we're going to see how that goes. I've heard good things, so I want to see it. Queens of the Dead is an indie movie with zombies attacking drag queens. That sounds like fun. Sign me up for it. It's in limited theaters. I think it's still playing right now. I don't know if I'll be able to see it though, because it's very limited and there's always tons of stuff coming out. Even though I go to the movies, I go to the theaters pretty much like every week, maybe twice a week, often 2 times each time if I can. Sometimes this is one. It all depends on my schedule and my responsibilities as a single father and whatnot. But I go there pretty often. I try to see as much as I can, try to stay current for you all folks here on Rated Awesome Show on YouTube, and as well as TikTok, Cinematic Joshua. And of course, let's also plug Letterboxd. Follow me at Letterboxd at Rated Awesome. I have my entire list there. You can cheat right now if you really want to, or follow along with me if that's the thing you want to do instead. And I have it all ranked right there. It's actually pinned as well. I have 2 pinned 2 pinned lists each time. I change them out pretty often. I usually keep the 2025 or the current year ranked. I usually keep that on one of them, but I change the other one up with directors or actors or genres or franchises or whatever. And this one is really easy for you to see. It's 2025 horror movies ranked, and I've seen 34 of them so far. So moving on, what I have not seen, still missed out. I heard Dream Eater. I've heard mixed things. I've heard from a friend of mine, Jen Walks in the Walls, who likes horror movies generally and doesn't get scared too easily. Said it was very boring. It was like a found footage, very indie movie. But Eli Roth, who we trust, his horror, acumen. I do love Thanksgiving. I can't wait for Thanksgiving too. I think next year. And I haven't heard much about it, but it's probably gonna come out next year. And he said it's one of the scariest movies he's ever seen, and that's why he co-produced it or put his name on it, executive producer or something, got it in the theaters. So I haven't heard much about it. I would probably stay away from it. Coyotes is a horror comedy I do want to see. Justin Long's in it, I believe, and it looks like a funny, good one with getting chased by coyotes in California, probably. Kate Bosworth also. She's hardly ever in any movies anymore. Catherine McNamara, Kira O'Donnell, a few other names there. I've heard mixed things. Again, right now the Letterboxd ranking is a 2.4. That's not good. That is not good. So the trailer looked pretty decent. Looked like some funny moments, but who knows if that's really going to translate? Really don't know. I missed The Home with Pete Davidson starring in it. I'm very mixed about Pete Davidson. I don't know if he can carry a movie. Also, I've not seen him carry a movie yet. This is one of his first starring roles and just his name basically. It seemed like kind of like Get Out situation. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Haven't seen it yet. I will watch it soon though. I missed it in theaters. I wanted to see it, but didn't jump to it because I heard it got mixed reviews, got kind of bad reviews. So, um, yeah. So, Strange Harvest is another one I want to see. Another found footage type of movie, found footage, not documentary or fake documentary, with like a pretty iconic looking serial killer monster or something, where you're following along with an investigation and you're not sure and you're trying, who's really involved in it and if it's real and or if it's a copycat or something. I heard good things. I will watch that soon when it's on DVD or streaming. Bone Lake, another one I haven't seen. Wanted to see it really badly. Heard trailer was good. Heard some good things about it. Heard it was a little slow maybe, but still really want to see Bone Lake. Heard it's unpredictable, keeps you guessing. It's sexy. It's provocative. Haven't seen it yet. It was, and by the time it was in the theaters for about 2 weeks or so, decent screenings. And then finally I got time to watch it after all these big major releases where, I had time. I saw the major releases. I was ready for this one. And then of course, out of my theaters. So didn't get to see that one of these days. And then I have three more I haven't seen. Control Freak, which I think is a Hulu original. I don't know much about that one, but I heard. Did I see the trailer of this one? Kelly Marie Tran is the star of this one, and I never seen her star in a movie before, so I kind of wanted to see how that went. Again, 2.4 on Letterboxd right now. Yeah, it's on Hulu, and I don't have Hulu right now. That's one of the few streaming services I don't have. And so yeah, I heard mixed things. We'll see. There's another one called Dark Match, another really independent one with a small time wrestling company fighting back against a serial killer or something or monsters. It's a Shudder original. Don't know much about that. And then the other one is Ash. Ash, one I really do want to see. I've heard, again, mixed things about it. Directed by Flying Lotus, starring Isa Gonzalez and Aaron Paul. It looks badass. It looks like a trip. It's a fever dream. Very reminiscent of Aliens and Event Horizon. I love those. I've heard it's too much like that though. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, not the best ratings. 2.4 on Letterboxd. Wow, they're really sticking to that ranking. Okay. All right. So now let's get into the rankings. Okay, we're gonna go from awful to awesome. Again, I saw 34 of them. You can see them on my Letterboxd at Rated Awesome. So as you see, I rate things rated awesome to awful. Sometimes rated awful to awesome. That's my whole stick, my brand. Get with it. So number 34 is one that people claim to love. I kind of don't believe them. I kind of want to separate the people who think that it's a good movie with people who love dogs. Because if you love dogs, and I do love dogs, I have two dogs, my dog sons, and I just noticed you cannot see my my horror shirt. Oh well. Yeah. So I saw Good Boy, and I heard good things about it for festivals for months, and I was excited to see it. I a dog perspective, chasing zombies or ghosts or whatever it is, and I watched it and I was bored out of my mind. This is the Skinamarink of dog movies. And if you know anything about me, I hate Skinamarink. I think it's not even really a movie. It's like it's abomination to call it a movie, really. That was a short movie or experiment that was stretched into some feature, as what they called it. I can make a feature real easily by pointing my camera at walls for a good 2 minutes at a time, having some eerie sound effects. And that's a lot what Good Boy did. But instead of just that, you get a nice reaction shot of the dog looking kind of scared or looking kind of like hiding his head. Okay, that's not enough for a movie. That's not that's not a narrative. Okay, I need a plot. I need some characters. There's like one character, his owner. Not enough for me. It was definitely better than he's gonna rank. Of course I don't have it logged in here. Super helpful. I think I gave it like a 2 stars or 1.5. 1.5 or 2 stars. think rated terrible in my book. Yeah, it just bored me to death, and I was like, can anything happen? It's like when Skidmark was going on. I was like, oh please, the best scene in that movie is when the kid answers a phone because something's actually happening. And so one of the best scenes of this movie, I won't spoil it again, but he confronts a zombie and things are happening. I'm like, oh my gosh, finally something. It ended up okay toward the end, but no, not enough for me. So that's in last place for my year right now. Yeah. Coming up, runner up on the awful list is Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Now, this is the same company who does the Twisted Universe movies, did the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1 and 2, and Bambi. And I think they have Pinocchio coming out this year also, which we'll talk about in a little bit. That's another one that I did kind of forget about. I need to look at when it actually comes out. But anyway, this company is clearly inspired by Terrifier. I believe, Terrifier. I got a lot. I got a lot of things to say about Terrifier, and I don't want to go into it here because it turns people off. I don't like the Terrifier movies. I think they cross the line. I think they're mean spirited. I think they're cruel, and that's what they're going into for this movie. I think it's called like Pinocchio Unchained. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is it called. Ooh, now I can't figure. I can't find it. I'll have to look it up another time. Yeah, they clearly were inspired by that because all their movies, they're really trying to push the gore, push the deranged killing, like the abusive, depraved, evisceration, disembowelment. Like they're not fun though. These are innocent people, or mostly just like characters we don't know at all. We don't know these characters at all, and here they are just cutting them up. And I'm talking about Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, especially where there's a scene where, again, no spoilers. I don't do any spoilers, by the way. If I cross in spoiler territory, I will tell you. I hate spoilers. I hate people ruining movies, even if they were, just came out this week, a day ago, a year ago, 10 years, 20 years. Doesn't matter. It's new to somebody. Don't ruin their expectations or, their experience. So I don't do spoilers, but there's a time where a character completely just maims another character, and it's like, why? What are you doing this for? And it's excruciating detail, and it's decent gore, I guess, if you want, but there's also some child endangerment and offing in this movie. Decent performances here and there. It wasn't enough for me. It's better than the Winnie the Pooh movies, maybe not as fun. At least the production design, the acting was also pretty good, but no, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I thought it was pretty boring, also, and just like cruel and disturbing. I don't like that kind of horror movies. You'll see as this list goes. My bag for horror movies are thrilling, something I haven't seen before, a really good premise, great character development, and above all, being fun. Make it fun and exciting. And so horror comedies, that actually is my favorite genre. Horror comedies, one of my favorite genres, at least in horror. Absolutely my favorite genre in horror, subsection in horror. One of my favorite genres in total. I also love action, sci-fi, and adventure. But horror comedy is definitely up there. Next up the list is one that's going to rifle some feathers, and that's okay. I'm here to be bold and here to have hot takes and be honest with everything I'm saying. I'm not swayed by opinions or other critics or whatever. No, I don't care. I tell you how it is, what I think is good or bad, and I give you reasons. Just back up what your actual reasoning is for liking or hating a movie, and I'm fine with it. Great, we can talk about it all day. I love talking about movies. I'll talk about it all day long. I'll debate you. We don't have to get offended by things we say, but we can just have a nice discussion. Anyway, 28 years later is on my awful list. Yeah, I am a decent fan of the franchise. 28 days later, 28 weeks later. We never got months because problems of making films or whatever. So now we got Danny Boyle and what's his name again? Garland. Alex Garland, who wrote the 28 days later, together. And so they devise a new trilogy. We have the Bone Temple in January of 2026, the sequel to this one, and then there's a third one they're gonna make. Probably. They haven't shot it yet. They probably scripted it. They probably have it ready to go. They're waiting to see how second one does, and we'll see. This first one did okay. People will critically better than it did by the box office. I think it did okay at the box office. I don't have those numbers for me right now. But anyway, 28 years later, I think is a real interesting dissection of the zombie genre. I know they're infected; they're not really zombies, but for all particular points and purposes. What is that saying? All intents and purposes, I think. Yeah, it's a zombie movie. I like seeing different kinds of zombies are infected. That was cool. I like some of the ideas in it, but generally it didn't work for me. It's too long. I didn't like the editing choices. I don't like this 360 thing. I don't think it worked. I think it was weird. I don't like the voiceovers. I don't like how we change POVs and characters. I like how Spike was continuing, but besides that, um, yeah, I don't even like the way that death is remembered or eulogized, and then people are like, "Oh, it's so touching." With again, no spoilers, with somebody dying, and literally a character didn't even get to say goodbye to this person. Just- and they're like, "Oh, it's a wonderful monument to their life and stuff. Let's put them on this mountain of bones, the Bone Temple." No. Uh, if you really think about it, there's some real problems with the scripting in this movie, and people don't want to believe. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit it. So that's I'm here to admit it. I don't see a lot of people in here, but if you are, say hey, like the chat. Tell me what's up. What have you seen this year in 2025? That's all right. I'm just gonna cut it up and share it amongst people, and hopefully next live chats we're gonna get some more people in here. But hey, it's still early. 20 minutes in. All right. 28 years later, yeah, not my cup of tea. I feel it was a real betrayal of the actual franchise. In tone, in fun. I mean, this is more of like an A24 dramatic with some zombie drama with some zombies there. A couple of decent action scenes, but way too slow, way too just introspective. And I'm fine with a lot of different genres, and I do love some dramas. I do love some A24 and neon movies and things like that. But no, the tone is way different. And being the creators of the actual franchise, they're allowed to do that. But I still am gonna feel misled when you showed me a pretty kick-ass trailer with some real action there, and there's only some parts of that there, and of course lots of zombie dongs too. I don't need to see. All right. Next up, another big hit. This was a huge hit. I feel like I want to just know what the actual box office for this one is, but this is the fifth movie in a very enduring franchise that is continuing along with spin-offs and a TV show, I believe, as well. But yes, The Conjuring Last Rites did not do it for me. I'm gonna give you the box office report real quick here. So budget of 55 million, it made 177 domestically and almost 500 million dollars worldwide. So I think the biggest hit of the whole franchise, unwarranted, I would say. I don't think it's that good. I think it's very generic. I don't know why I got hot all of a sudden here. What is happening? Oh man, why is it hotter? Why is the light hotter here? Blasting me up. Oh my god. Okay, let me just try to fix this real quick. Lower the brightness a little bit. Does it matter? Hopefully, we'll see. Does it somehow just raise it up like it raises my sound? Only to Cinematic Joshua would this kind of things happen, right? No, I don't think it is right now, but it's just weird that it would do that in the first place. I'm gonna go back to my audio. I really want to know if it's still doing that. I'm having a hard time finding where the sound is under system. Okay, fine. Wonder wonderful. And it's back at 8 again. I don't know if that's because of like, did I do something with some kind of any kind of setting I did myself? Did I do this somehow? No, it just randomly goes down. I'm gonna ask my friends about this. Some podcasting friends. This is some bull hockey here. Yo, why would it? Okay, did that sound any better? It sounds louder. All right. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. But it's pretty maddening how that would automatically go down like that. This is my it's a new microphone. There should be no problem with that. So I don't know. I'll look it up. Whatever. So what was I talking about? Conjuring Last Rites. Yeah, it didn't it felt like all the other ones. You know, I like the Conjuring series a little bit. It was really hot. Really hot. I'm gonna have a meltdown live on YouTube. All right. Okay, so the Conjuring Last Rites, just kind of just a hodgepodge of all the other ones. You know, they're investigating a crime, they're investigating possession. There's objects floating, on the ceiling and throwing things at each other. There's a mirror in this case, I believe. What was exciting about this one is this was the last case they took before they retired. The Warrens. So that was a big deal, and this is a true life case. All of them be based on their true life experiences and their cases. So I was curious about that, but sorry, yeah. Man, the hotness is really it's really pissing me off. I moved the light. That helped a little bit. I still have another light also close by. I guess it helped a little bit. All right. I just don't want to be a hot spot, It's like it wasn't like that when I first started. Why is it like that now? Oh boy. Anyway, yeah, Conjuring Last Rites. It's not good. It's just okay. I think it's one of the worst. Did I rank it? I have a ranking on Letterboxd at Rated Awesome for the Conjuring series, the whole universe, including Annabelle and La Llorona, Curse of La Llorona, and so like one more, I think. the nun ones. Nun 1 and 2. By the way, 2 is much better than the first one. Don't let anybody say it's not. Yeah, and I think this one was one of the last of the Conjuring movies. Like, I haven't watched them all. I've only watched them all. Ooh. I've only watched them all once, but I don't want to turn the gain all the way up. All right, we're gonna keep it like that. I've only watched them all once, and that's enough for me. Like, they're not that exciting. They're not. I think that's like they're suspenseful, but like to see them more than once, you're gonna feel like they're not that suspenseful. You're gonna know what's happening, and to see that jump scare happening, and all you have left is like a decent story with some good acting, and that's it. And that's not enough for me. So yeah, I was not wowed by this movie. Yeah, so there you go. All right, coming up next. As an independent movie I just watched the other day, and it's a Tubi original. It's Match, and I heard some weird, wild things about this one. And I am, as a single father, I am back in the dating game, and I'm all over this online dating thing. So I was like, do I want to watch that? Will this cause like subconscious issues for me with not wanting to date online, which I need to because I can't meet people in the real world? I just talk to a woman. Stranger, you never know if they're attached or anything. So it's better to be compatible and have matching hobbies and be able to chat a little bit and say, hey, if we're vibing, and then we can go out, So that's how that works. And then this one basically was a kind of a bait and switch kind of thing. I won't spoil it. It got some surprises for me. I didn't expect all the things to happen. Generally, it was okay. I thought the acting was kind of decent. The main girl was all right. The rest of it's kind of subpar. The villain's also pretty decent. The main villain, I won't divulge who that is, but there are also some gross things that didn't need to happen in this one. That's what it's getting like. That's what people are talking about. That's why it's getting the buzz. It's got like controversial situations in there, and it's like, ooh, why did you put that in there? To go viral, of course. That's why we did that. By the way, Propel, if you ever want to sponsor me, oh my gosh, I would love that. Propel is the best drink in the world. It really is. I love all their flavors. And they have like about a dozen of them or something. I just switch them all around and just rotate them, whatever is on tap. Yeah, this is watermelon, definitely one of the best flavors though. All right, so that was match. Yeah, I was surprised by some of the ending stuff too. It went pretty hard in some ways, but more of a thriller, I would say. And I thought they could use the online dating component a little better. I'm still waiting for like the really good, like the premiere, name recognition or just a really good concept online dating horror movie or like sci-fi movie or online dating comedy. I haven't seen a lot of good ones that use that theme. And we've been living in this for like 20 years. So we need to get on there, screenwriters. All right, next up. We're still on pretty much the awful list. I would say that was like a three, maybe more like a medium list now, the mid list. I would call this the watch. Okay, so on my rankings, I have watch right now, watch pretty soon, watch eventually, and then watch never. So the first few were watch nevers, or maybe watch eventually if you're a fan of like the 28 years or the Conjuring franchises. Match, I would say, is watch. These are like watch. We're like the watch eventuallys now still. And about the 3-star area. 3-star generally out of 5 stars. So these are all rated cool, maybe enjoyable, maybe lame, and around that area. And you stick with me, I got more fun adjectives of all my ratings you can learn all about. Tell your friends. All right, so next one is a real disappointment. One of the bigger disappointments of the year is Fear Street Prom Queen, because I do like the Fear Street trilogy. I was late to the party. I only watched them 2 years ago or something like that, and I thought they were all pretty good. Definitely like the second one the best, 1978. How I rank them real quick is 1978. The original, 94. The 1866 or whatever it was, 1666, whatever that was. Too much like The Witch to me. I didn't like it that much, but Prom Queen would be the last. Even though I didn't hate it as much as everyone else did, I thought it was still pretty fun. I mean, it's got 1.7 on Letterboxd. That's terrible. It just kind of had empty feelings. We didn't get to know much about the girls who are getting off. It's kind of like a prom night kind of a movie, or kind of tone to it or plot. I do like some of the twists they have, some of the kills and killers. I do like some of the things they went for. I would watch it again, actually. I thought it was decent in some ways, some fun things. But generally the script wasn't great. And also, to make such a big deal about being prom queen, to want to kill for it or kill, to be it or whatever, it was not established well enough in this movie. All right, next up is a Blumhouse movie, Woman in the Yard. Now, this is one I have mixed feelings about. Directed by Yami Colette Sarah. I liked some things about it, some performances. Danielle Deadweiler never misses. She's always great, always someone to watch. Plays a very stern mother, like she does in 40 Acres, another movie that came out this year. It's a black cinema movie. I thought it was interesting ideas. I like some of this, like what's real, what's not real. It's more of a thriller and a mystery, suspense there, but the messaging is messed up. I don't like that. And if you've seen it, I'm talking about. The messaging is not good. It's muddy. It's unclear. If it's going for what we think it's going for, it's a bad message. And they're trying to play it. They're trying to have the cake and eat it too. It doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. It had some good things going for it, but then it just didn't really end up well. And the messaging being so bad and like negative, like as just an immoral message to have. It just it gives you a bad taste in your mouth. So that's why that didn't work for me. All right, next up is a brand new one that's, I believe, in theaters now, and it's an animated family gateway horror movie called Stitchhead. Now, Stitchhead is it's a fun little romp. It's got some music in there. It's kind of like a Pinocchio story or a Frankenstein story where this little Stitch, this little zombie type of boy. I think he was a zombie. Maybe he's not a zombie. Maybe he's just like a Frankenstein creature. They basically a mad scientist is creating a bunch of monsters, and so this is the first one. And you see a few other monsters as you go along too, and there's some interesting, character designs there. I don't think it's very funny though. It's cute for kids enough. It's family oriented. It's okay. It's a decent watch. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. Um, yeah, it was fine. I thought it was cute enough. Here's the part where we're kind of like take it or leave it movies. Like these are the 3.5 enjoyable. Generally, some 3 stars, 3.5 movies. So you could do a lot worse than Stitch Head. Still pretty good as an animated movie. I kind of wish it tied in the musical elements a little better. I think there's like 3 or 4 songs. Catchy enough, but I don't know. Would I watch it again? Maybe with my kid, maybe with my daughter, I might. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of miss. I wanted more comedy. I wanted more like mystery, a decent message there, but I don't know. Didn't really do it for me. All right, next up is another one from that Twisted Universe company, Bambi the Reckoning. And I was excited for this one because I thought it was going to be a cool creature feature. And I thought actually the Bambi design as like a zombie undead deer was pretty cool. And it is pretty cool. And there's some decent action in there as well. Some of the acting's okay. The story's decent, I guess. It's still very low budget, but it's not bad for a creature feature. It isn't. It's not bad. And I do like, it has some similar vibes as Death of a Unicorn, which was that this year? That's coming up later. Okay. Similar vibes to that. I think it was all right. I think it's the best movie they've done so far, that company. So take it as what you will. Next up is, I would say, borderline thriller and horror because it's Opus. It's an A24 movie. I was excited for because of the cachet of that company, and also they're trying to branch out into more mainstream fare. Not everything has to be so bleak and slow burning and boring, and it's more fun, more dramatic, more comedies. I don't know. They're trying different stuff, which is good. I think a company like that should grow. This one, I don't know. It has Io Edidberry going on like a retreat to see John Malkovich, who's like this kind of like really eclectic, super famous, elusive, singer songwriter, kind of like Prince, maybe very mysterious, hasn't put out anything in decades, and now he's coming back. And so they're trying to cover the story and go over to like a little camp where he's going to show you a new experience with like VIP only. So they also got Juliette Lewis as one of them, Murray Bartlett, a few other people, and Tony Hale pops up here and there. It's interesting where it goes. I think it's worth watching once. I kind of like the ending. I also where it could go, if there's a sequel, whatever. But people didn't like it generally. I thought it was, I don't know. It just wasn't funny enough. It's out there. It's weird. It's a little disturbing. I would call it more of a thriller. Toward the end, it comes become a little more horror, but it's hard to say. It's on that line there, really. All right, next up, another movie I just watched just I think yesterday. My girl Dakota Fanning made another movie. I gotta watch what she's doing. She used to be one of the best children actresses, child actors of any gender, and she's still kicking ass. As an adult now in her 30s. And I don't think she picks the best projects, but this one, Vicious, I was interested because of the premise. It sounded very much like a Monkey Paw, the box scenario, and I love those premises more than the movies. I'm still waiting for a really good version of those. But Vicious is a Paramount Plus original. They don't do many of those. Directed by Brian Bertino, who directed the original The Strangers, which I'm a pretty big fan of. He brings that suspense. He brings that creepiness. You're on the edge of your seat, like what's going to happen? I don't know if it really delivers. I think the rules are kind of muddy. I didn't love it. And the ending, I don't think works all the way. I just think the rules are just unclear. She's on a quest to service box that's presented to her, and she has to put something in there, real simple, something she hates, something she hates. Where is my camera? Something she hates, something she wants, and something she loves. So, like, what are those going to be? And the elements. The problem is her character is not really fleshed out very well. Kind of to herself, no friends, no real family. I guess she's got some family, and she does talk to a few, but no real like goals or ambition. She's got tattoos. Is that part of her personality? Is that why they did that? She does a great job in this movie. She does in every movie, so no problem there. I just don't think the plot was enough, and it just didn't work toward the end. So worth it to watch once. Some good scares there, some good suspense, some jump scares, some scary moments, some quick, visceral, violent actions you don't really expect. Keeps you on your toes. You could do worse. You could do worse. So these are still watch eventuallys for me. Next up is Screamboat. Now this is not part of the Twisted universe, even though they're kind of I guess movies like this and all like the Popeye ones and like I don't know what was the other Mouse Trap from last year. They're trying to bring those in. The mean one. These are not part of the same company that's doing the Poonaverse. That's what they're gonna call it. They're calling it Twisted Universe because it's Twisted Childhood Universe because it's a better name. But they're also kind of known as the Poonaverse, which is a terrible name. Kind of shows the quality of those movies. But so anyway, this is not part of that. We haven't had a Mickey Mouse in the Twisted universe yet, but they're kind of attributing or giving that name to these movies too. So if you want to call it that, I don't know. I don't call it that, but it's part of that kind of thing. It's in the public domain now for Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, the Pooh and Tigger and Popeye apparently also. So there's some of them I haven't seen yet. Some that could be fun, could be awesomely bad. Also, you don't expect a lot of these movies, and this one I would say is awesomely bad. This is Screamboat coming up next, pretty much in the middle of the list. Maybe lower tier, but we're getting close to the middle. Again, I saw 34, and we're at 23 right now with Screamboat. And what the big draw with this one was, this is David Howard Thornton as Steamboat Willie, aka Mickey Mouse, if you don't want to get sued. And he's actually mouse-sized and killing just tons of people, kind of like Chucky does. This idea that you can't just drop kick or stomp on this mouse and its end. It's not like a supernatural mouse, just a mouse who apparently likes to be a serial killer, a psycho. He's got a couple clever ways of doing it. Obviously the element of surprise is a big way of doing that to helping make it happen. But I just it's fun enough. It's silly enough. You can turn your brain off with this one, but just get a couple of people, just make some plans, corner this damn rat and stomp its guts out. Not that hard. So anyway, but David Howard Thornton as Steamboat Willie, who of course is Art the Clown, and also the mean one, who's the Grinch. Again, if you don't want to get sued, he's fun enough. He does the same kind of shtick. He does his little creepy mime shtick. Doesn't talk again. Will we ever see him talk? I think he's done a couple of movies. Another one, I can't remember what it's called. The game show, live game, kill game kind of thing. I can't remember what it's called, but he also didn't talk in that one. He just doesn't like to talk, I guess. He's just kind of mime. Just be like a mute guy, mute clown, or a mute rat. All right, so that's it. Wolfman, another big disappointment. We started the year in January with like this big disappointment of the year. One of the big ones, because we all like the monster, the actual famous monsters, right? Like Frankenstein, a Wolfman, the Mummy, all Dracula, all those, and so we got Wolfman. And this one, directed by Lee Winnell of Saw fame. He starred in Saw, but he also produced several of them and wrote several of them, especially the first one. Got on their feet. And he's directing this one, and he's got Christopher Abbott as like the Wolfman, Julia Garner as the lead. And there's some great stuff with the POV of the wolf, and Some of the visual effects and the sound design is fantastic, but not enough story. Just just a chase, a couple, long chases. And of course, we talk about the actual design of the wolf. Man, didn't like it, still don't like it. I don't know anybody that does like it. It's a different take to it. There's some different things that could happen with it. More of a zombified kind of character than an actual wolf, like a werewolf. But if it had a better script or a better story, maybe it would have worked. But for me, it's just okay. Next up, another disappointment. French. We're gonna have a few more of these disappointing ones, or big buzz ones. The next three were big buzz movies, and two are franchise ones. This one is I Know What You Did Last Summer, the reboot, I guess, where it continues some of the characters like Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. And with some new, young adults like Chase Sue Wonders and Madeline Klein, Jonah Howard King, Sarah Michelle Gellar also not really. I mean, she's in the cast list. She does pop up at one point in the dream sequence. Tyreek Withers also in this year's Him, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Decent cast of up and coming, actors. The story though, it's a rehash. It's a full rehash, and then they're gonna assassinate a character, or character assassination for a beloved character toward the end. Again, no spoilers here. Wasn't a fan of that twist or that idea at all. So again, they're 2.4 Letterboxd. They're really 2.4 in here tonight. Directed by Jennifer Keaton Robinson, who also did Do Revenge. Thought that was decent. Female directors, I'm always for it. It's, decent slasher, I guess. Just not enough. Too much of a rehash. I don't like rehashes. All right, next up. Strangers, Chapter 2. What are we doing here, folks? A lot of people hate this whole series a lot more than I do. I thought Strangers Chapter 1 actually was decent. I know they make terrible decisions, but look, they make terrible decisions, and Strangers Pray at Night also. And no one's bashing that one all the time. I like to see we got more strangers in this one. It was a decent. I do think it's better than the first one. Chapter 1 at least, not the original Strangers. That's still the best for its simplicity also. But this one got to see more of the strangers, got to learn a little bit more of the backstory of the actual town, maybe who some of the strangers are, a little bit more of the victim. Some decent chases there, not as many bad choices, of course, also, which is always a good thing. Decent as for the most part. I thought it was okay, but it's not enough of a plot for a whole movie. So that's the problem there with the movie. All right, next up, the buzz movie that everyone was super hyped for. We hardly ever get sports-related horror movies, and we got one this year in Him. Not directed by who everyone thinks might have directed it. It's not directed by Jordan Peele, who I love, who made only 3 movies so far, has his 4th one coming out next year, hopefully. It's directed by Justin Tipping, and kind of messy. It's visually great, but yes, even though it's cliche, I'm going to say it, it's very much style over substance. They're planting some seeds here and there. I don't think it works all the way. Not enough characters, but Marlon Wayans and Tyreek Withers, fantastic. Great performances. Julia Fox also pretty good. I would watch it again, but now that I know more about what's going on with it, I just think some of the themes, the religious aspects of it, the ambition, it just wasn't clarified enough. It wasn't justified enough. All right, next up, Bring Her Back. A lot of people have this a lot higher. I thought it was good. I don't like disturbing movies, though. So it's disturbing. It's good, but disturbing. So it's going to get some notches down for me. I don't want to see some of these things in this movie that I can't erase out of my mind. But very good possession type of movie, Australian based. Billy Barrett kicks ass, did fantastic as a lead. Sally Hawkins, a really phenomenal villain. Jonah Wren Phillips as like a possessed kid for the most part was also really good. I guess her name is Misha Haywood. The girl was also quite good. Brother sister team trying to solve this mystery. A lot of child endangerment, a lot of crazy, disturbing, images and creepy for sure, scary for sure. Done well by the Filippo brothers, who did, of course. I'm blanking on it right now, but Talk to Me. Also, we're doing Talk to Me, I think next year, or a prequel. They're doing a sequel and a prequel now. That's what they listed here. I think the next one's coming out next year, but I don't even know if they started filming it yet. So I don't know what they're waiting for. I was surprised this one came out before, that sequel. But yeah, they the viral nature of this, the advertising was spot on. They did a really good job with that. They really did. All right, next up, another one I just watched the other day, a Netflix original and also international movie, The Elixir. Now, this is one of the first zombie movies on this list. Is that right? Could that be true? Wow. No, 28 years later, obviously, has zombies. Okay, so, and Good Boy, I guess he's a zombie. Whatever. Yeah, so this is the one that's full zombies. Now, what's cool about this one, it has a lot of the vibe of Train to Busan, which is one of my favorite zombie movies for sure. I love the design of the zombies, spewing black blood and bile and just going crazy and just like chasing you and running over things and jumping on things and just really like just rabidly chasing you. But once they actually try to get you, the problems of the logic where like, why can't they bite you when you're kind of pushing them or kind of whatever, or they're not pushing it enough to get you? That happens a lot in this movie. There was a lot of problems where like, why are they eating you right now? But the Elixir was decent. It has some decent ideas. There actually will. There may be a sequel. It seems like they're setting up for it. It could be. I like this idea. It's an Indonesian movie. Always watch it with subtitles, by the way, not dubs, subs, overdubs, all day, every day, to get the full performance of the actors. Yeah, I just this zombie outbreak, starts up in a small town in Indonesia, and how they're going to survive that. There's some decent characters here and there. It was okay. I just had some real problems with logic and people just making dumb decisions, not getting out of there, very slow to react. Oh my gosh, this zombie's coming at me. And I'm a trained police officer, and yet I'm not going to try to shoot them once they still come at me, or I see them eat my friend or whatever. I'm going to tell hey, calm down. I'm going to arrest you. What? Shoot him in the head. All right, next up. Next up, another zombie movie, an animated one called Night of the Zoopocalypse. This is like an independent animated movie with the only real name you're going to know is David Harbour as one of the leads. I think it's a mountain lion. Some weird designs of the characters, though. That makes it unique. It's true. A cute little, gateway horror movie. I like some of the zombie aspects of it. They're trapped in the zoo. They're trying to get out. It's all animals. There's some humans too, but they're not real characters. So, yeah, some great visuals too. Like the color scheme was really cool. Neon colors, bright clashing colors. Some clever ideas too. It's pretty good especially for families. I would say that's a watch. Yeah, not watch right now. So I would say that's a watch pretty soon. Yeah, for sure. Now we're in the watch pretty soon area, I would say. So I was probably like a 3.5, maybe even probably a 3.5. All right, now we're going to move up to Death of a Unicorn. I told you it's coming up soon. Another A24 one breaking out. This is a great ensemble cast. You got Taya Leone, Jenny Ortega, Will Poulter, a standout role for him as a supporting actor. Richard E. Grant, Sunita Amani, and of course Paul Rudd. But the problem with this one, for me, big Paul Rudd lover over here, maybe not like his character. Maybe not like him. I don't think I could do it. But yeah, his character is annoying and too much on the fence and selfish and not in a fun way. And I love Paul Rudd. I did not like him in this movie. It's not his fault. It's the character's fault. But I also thought that Jenna Ortega was just okay, kind of annoying. I kind of annoyed with this like Beetlejuice kind of character she keeps playing a lot. Beetlejuice character, I should say. But it's fun. It's kind of like a Jurassic Park kind of movie with unicorns and they're snarling, weird looking unicorns, not the majestic ones we know of. Yeah, it gets fun. I will watch this again. I thought it was a good horror comedy, and generally, I thought it could be a little funnier though. But everything could be a little better, right? All right, number 14, getting close to the top 10, y'all. Number 14 is The Gorge, an Apple TV original. You got Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy on two different sides. Different militaries from different countries, all watching a gorge in the middle. And what does the gorge have? Does it have monsters? Does it have demons? Is it a gateway to hell? Who knows? I won't blow it for you. But that is divulged, obviously, in the movie. There's also kind of a rom-com, rom-dram aspect to it. Decent action. It's an interesting movie because it has a lot of different tones to it throughout. A lot of different kind of chapters to it, even though it's not cut up in chapters. Yeah, I would watch it again. I would watch it again. I thought it was fun. Generally, I love the premise of it. I love the lore of it. I want to hear more about it. I want to get in this world again. I don't know. I thought it could have been a little better. The second act kind of lets you down with kind of explaining things and just making things too easy and whatnot. But generally, pretty good time. All right, next up is Shelby Oaks. Now, as a wannabe YouTube critic, or actually, I am a movie critic, more on TikTok, but I am branching back out into YouTube again, and I will try to be more consistent as we go along on all my channels and all my social medias. But I'm inspired by Chris Stuckman for making this movie. I love some of my favorite YouTubers who've influenced me to get out there, be like, hey, these guys, this is a tenable thing. I can get some kind of audience like this eventually, maybe make a living of it, or somewhat possibly, a side gig to this or something, or just have, just banter with people. That's really what I want to do, and give my opinions and have fun with it and discuss movies and TV and music. That's what I'm about. So seeing Chris Stuckman actually make a feature-length movie, that's awesome. There's other YouTubers out there, YouTube critics are my favorites, who I know are working on scripts and things like that. I'm also a screenwriter. I will write your script, Hollywood. Let me know. I have some ready to go, and horror and comedy and thrillers. And I'm going to get back into that as well. And he made this low budget independent movie, kind of like a quasi found footage, quasi just a supernatural thriller. And it's pretty decent. It's pretty good. He's critiqued hundreds, if not thousands, of horror movies and other movies throughout the years, of doing it for 10, 15 years, whatever, on YouTube. And I've watched a lot of his reviews. He's one of my go-tos, along with Jeremy Johns and Austin Burke and Adam Does Movies and Cody Leach, especially for horror, and Dan Merle, and what is that other one? Impression Blend, get a woman in there. I do like some of these critics, and once you get a handful of them, it's like how many you can really have to kind of get the gist of it. And also, I have tons of my TikTok peers and friends there to also check out. So I have plenty of movie critics to watch and get their viewpoints on. Almost always after I've actually seen the movie. Anyway, so Shelby Oaks has some good visuals there. It kept me engaged, the compelling mystery throughout the whole thing. I thought it was pretty good. And the next mix of, Blair Witch Project and Hereditary and maybe some other, supernatural movies. People are saying it's a little, too relying on those influences there. I could see some of that, but great performances. Also, I do think some of the things came a little too easy. Some odd choices here and there. I would like to see a little more character development of some of this, like the paranormal paranoids of the movie. Part of her team of the girl that goes missing, but generally pretty good. I was surprised how well I liked it more than I thought I would, and I'm glad it wasn't just a mockumentary or a found footage one the whole time. It's only like that for parts of it, kind of bookends it, and then it's actually a full narrative. And they even have different, use different camera stocks and stuff for this. So altogether, to get this done and a $1 or $2 million budget, and then get an extra $1 million from Neon picking it up. I mean, that's amazing. And then also, who produced it? It was a big name. Aaron B. Kuntz is a name I've heard before, but it was who was the guy? He's an executive producer probably of it. Mike Flanagan. Yeah, everyone loves Mike Flanagan, especially for horror, and he is really good. So him to see it and say like, oh, I want to put more money into this. I want to get this out in the theaters and the festivals. Like, that's a big deal. So props to him for doing that. It's fantastic. It's very inspiring too, because I still haven't given up on my filmmaking dream. Maybe direct or write one day. And that can still happen. I'm still young. We're all still young, right? All right, next up. Another movie that's disappointing, but still I liked it a lot more than other people did, is Until Dawn. Big fan of the video game. I've only played it like maybe twice. But they did lose some aspects of the video game which should have been in the movie. This idea of, having a butterfly effect based on what you talk to your relationships with people was not really in the movie. And that's unfortunate, because it should have been. But what you get is this kind of time loop aspect of it instead. And I thought that was pretty well done. I thought it was cute. Oh, not cool. Cute. I thought it was pretty cool. Some of the aspects, kind of like a little bit incorporating some of the cabin in the woods flavor in there. Lots of different kind of horror tropes and horror monsters and different kind of kills. It didn't really work out all the way. Some of the characters are a bit annoying, but still, I like some of those actors. So it was fun. I would definitely watch it again. And, I liked it. It's pretty high on this list. Still probably a 3.5. Maybe we're up to the 4 at this point. I don't remember exactly. But I hope we get more for Until Dawn. Let's get a sequel going. Let's get more. Just adapt the video game. What's wrong with you? I don't know why they don't adapt the actual video game that we all love and has a great storyline also. So why not do that? It doesn't make any sense. All right, next up, number 11, The Monkey. This is, I believe, the 3rd Stephen King adaptation this year. We're going to get The Running Man also coming up soon. I'm going to hustle a little bit on these top 10 because I've been an hour now. But yeah, The Monkey is a fun horror comedy. Very dark, crazy, like Final Destination type of kills. You're not sure what's going to go on. A great performance by Theo James in a dual role as well. Also, Tatiana Maslany is in there for a bit. And even the director, Oscar Perkins, is in there for a bit. And he's got another movie coming out this year. I'll tell you about it in a little bit. Yeah, fun times though. Maybe not as good as I wanted it to be, but still a pretty fun time. I would definitely watch it again. All right, number 10. Now this one, y'all got to calm down. We got to calm down on this. I understand it's a good movie. People love this movie. People have this at number 1 or 2 of the year. Almost all the critic friends. And I get it in some ways. I do not think this is one of the best vampire movies of all time. I think it's a really good movie. I think it's too long. It's Sinners. Look, it's a good movie. I watched it twice now. I watched it just the other day, last week or so, to really get the idea, like, okay, what am I missing? I saw it in theaters. I liked it, didn't love it. I think it's too long. I think it's a musical. You love blues. I don't love blues. I mean, that's part of it too. The songs are good. The score is great. I do love the score, and it will be nominated for a Rated Awesome Award, which is my award ceremony I do on January every year. That score, of course, was done by Ludwig Göransson. Yeah. And cinematography was also fantastic. Ryan Coogler's great, and as a director, and Michael B. Jordan in dual roles is fantastic. And that whole cast: Haley Steinfeld, Miles Caton, newcomer Jack O'Connell, Wunmi Musaku. Fantastic. Everybody did a great job. It's just, I have problems with the blood. It's very muddy. I have problems with these non sequiturs. I have problems with being stuck in this this juke joint for the whole time. I have problems with some of these ideas. I have problems with some of these character moments. I have problems with some of the vampires not realizing what was going on. It's got some issues, and people don't want to talk about that. And I'll talk about it. So I'll leave that at that. There's some plenty of great things. A fantastic oneer. Tracking shot. Going around the room, seeing the different, amalgamations of different, or spiritual entities of different, music throughout the year. It's great for Black cinema. I mean, there's so many good things about it. I just didn't love it. I liked it, didn't love it. I think I give it 4 stars. All right, next up is Dangerous Animals, number 9. Fun movie, fun Australian movie. I think one of the best, probably the best role that Jai Courtney's ever done as a serial killer who dispatches his victims through the use of sharks. So it's not really a shark movie or a creature feature like you might think it is. Also, one of the best final girls I've seen all year, maybe in a long time. Also, Hassie Harrison as the final girl. I think she's very resourceful. I mean, she made a mistake or two, but still very resourceful. Generally trying to get out of the situation every time, using a lot of different, ideas to do that, and befriending people. All different kind of tactics to get out of it, and tries to escape several times. A good thriller horror movie for sure. I liked it a lot. Next up, number 8, Together. Together. Again, another one I heard so much buzz about, a neon movie with Alison Brie and Dave Franco, who also wrote it. They didn't direct it, though, but they wrote it, and they star in it. And they're a very toxic couple, or a couple that's been together for too long. And I don't want to give away, if you haven't seen it, it's got some good body horror there. You can see this on posters, gives away some of the ideas of it, but go in blind is the best way to do that. Great performances and some really interesting ideas, and how it ends up. All very cool. All very cool ideas. Number 7, Heart Eyes. This movie I saw twice also. I watched it in theaters, and I watched it with commentary. So I haven't watched it the second time by itself, but I'm really kind of blown away at how they balance the tone so well in this movie. This is a horror comedy for sure, but also a rom-com as heart. It's half rom-com and half slasher. And the way they balance it is so great. Mason Gooding and is Olivia Holt is the main girl? Is that her name? Yeah. I never saw her before. Fantastic. Both have really good chemistry, together or apart. And this iconic killer, we're going to get more sequels, right? Please, or prequels. This guy is fantastic. And the director, also, the commentary by Josh Rubin, the director, is fantastic. I want to watch all his movies now. He's only done Werewolves Within, which is pretty good. And I haven't seen one called Scare Me. I will absolutely have to do the commentary of Werewolves Within, because this guy was hilarious and insightful and inspiring. A huge horror lover too, and there's a lot of homages throughout the movie, and it's a really fun movie. I liked it even more the second time, and some really great reveals, some good surprises, but just the balance. How many horror comedies are also really good as rom-coms? You really don't have many like that. So props to do that. Give you your flowers for sure. And make it a rose. All right. Next up is number 6 is Clown in a Cornfield. Another movie I heard with good buzz coming out at festivals like I did with Together. Fantastic Fest was one of them that were really just hammering home how good it was. This is a young adult, I think, when they're going to call it a young adult series of books. I think it's like 3 or 4 of them. I haven't read any of them yet, but I'm going to at some point. Another one, Going Blind. You have idea about this Pennywise type clown as a slasher. Could be more than that. Really good cast as well. I thought Aaron Abrams. Is it Katie Douglas as the main girl? Yeah, another newcomer. I thought she was really good. Nice ensemble of young adults. Kevin Durant is some of the actual adults, and Will Sasso. Really good. You don't see them very often. Just a way that it balances like what you think it's going to be, and then when it turns on its head to what it really is. Very cool the whole time. I really liked that. I think I saw this one twice also. So we're getting the 4-star, 4.5-star kind of area now. So these are definitely watch nows. Anything above 15 is a watch right now. All right, number 5 One I would say is more of a thriller than a horror, but it's being so close to that is Companion, number 5. One of the big surprises of the year. Loved it. I haven't seen it a second time, I don't think, but I think it's going to still have really good the second. I think it's going to be really good the second time. Sophie Thatcher, fantastic as the lead. The girl. Jack Quaid does it again as like a very likable everyman, but then more sinister than you would think. Lucas Gage and Harvey Guillen, Rupert Friend are also in it for a bit. Just a fun thriller, similar to Terminator. I would say in some ways, or Terminator 2. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away. Again, you haven't seen it. Go in blind. Again, don't even watch the trailer. Just watch Companion. It's really good. It's really good. You're gonna like it. Great performances too, and one that keeps you on your toes. One that twists around a couple times. Just a really good adventure type of thriller, and you're not sure who to really root for at times, and it keeps you guessing. All right, one that's gonna be higher on the list than a lot of people's. Apparently, I'm not sure why. I only saw it once, but I really dug it. Is Hell of a Summer. Came out earlier this year. And again, I'm really inspired by younger filmmakers doing it. Finn Wolfhard and Billy Burke co-directed it and then co-wrote it also. And low budget movie, probably like 10 million or something. And great cast. Fred Heckinger or Hetchinger. I don't know how to say his name, but he's one of the up and comers that's just like killing it in the last few years. Abby Quinn is also really good in this, like the love interest. It's like a rom-com, coming of age, comedy, horror, maybe comedy more than horror. That's what people didn't like about it. Didn't really show a lot of the kills. Some are off screen. Okay, whatever. It's not for the gore. It's for the story. It's for the comedy. And I thought it was really great. I thought it was hilarious. At times. Great ensemble. Loved it. Can't wait to watch this again one of these days. All right. Number 3. Top 3. Awesome top 3. One just came out just recently. Black Phone 2. Woo! This was a lot of fun. I thought the first one was pretty good. More of a thriller. Had a supernatural angle to it. This one makes it way more supernatural, way more horror, way more slasher. Brings a lot more deviousness and like just ingenious ingenuity, sure, for Ethan Hunt's Grabber character, giving more a backstory. Gives the focus to Madeline McGraw this time instead of Mason Thames, who's also in it a lot. Takes a totally different setting, just works with the snow aspect of the ice aspect of it. Just a fantastic idea. Loved it. I can't wait to watch it again. Very, inspired by, Nightmare on Elm Street. That's fine. Sure. I think it does it really well and some great scares. And, Scott Derrickson did it again. He did it again. The same team is back, same writing, directing team, I believe. A lot of the same actors. Just really fantastic. Crowd pleaser, and I'm glad it's doing well. All right, number 2. Now, think about this. It's not the first movie you would think as actually a horror movie, right? But if you think about it a little further, if you call religious horror or demons all horror, which they are, I don't think about that all the time, but yeah, anything involving the devil or demons is a horror. And then K-pop Demon Hunters is a horror comedy, and a fantastic one at that. And probably the movie I watched the most of any movie this year. And part of that's because I have a daughter who loves it, of course. But it was a huge surprise. This is on I do a watch list every month. Follow here on YouTube and TikTok. Usually a awesome top 10 or awesome top 20 on most anticipated movies of the year. And this one was on there. I can't remember where it was. Maybe top 10 or something, maybe top 5 or 7, something like that. But it came on my radar because it's a Netflix movie and an animated movie. Same kind of Sony animation studio who did Into the Spider-Verse movies, and some kind of animation style too. And I was like, this looks like fun. This looks like some funny comedy, great animation, cool story. They're fighting demons and they're coming together, and they're also like a K-pop group. This is fantastic. And we watched it, and it's like, what? It blew me away how good the songs were. The way they integrated the songs, I don't think it's been done as good in other musicals. Like, in a long time. I have to look at my list of musicals or whatever, my favorite ones to see, because it's not just like the songs propel the story and talk about like what they're feeling and things like that, but it's also like they're writing the songs based on things they're experiencing in real life. There's obviously a love interest in this movie also, and I think I saw it like 5 times now, and I just saw it in theaters again. I just saw it in theaters for the first time. Sorry, it was released in theaters, temporarily. Second time it was in theaters, and I saw it I took my daughter to it for a second movie of all time in theaters, and it was a blast. It was a sing along too, so they had the lyrics on the screen, sing along. The songs are so good, they really are. Almost all the songs are great. Even the boy band ones, they have 2 songs. I think I like one of them, and it's not Soda Pop. It's I'm Your Idol or Your Idol. And it's funny. I can't wait for the sequels. I'm glad it's the highest, it's the most watched Netflix movie of all time. It might be the highest streaming movie of all time, most watched. But yeah, obviously we're gonna get probably several sequels, maybe a prequel. I don't know, spinoffs, whatever. Give me all of it. It's fantastic. It has like Looney Tunes sensibility in times. It's got anime style influences. It's got some great action sequences, great cinematography, good score also. When it does have a score, it's funny, it's likable. These girls are all awesome. Hard to pick your favorite one, but it's Rumi, of course. But then maybe Mari after that. Sorry, Mira. I didn't sound right. So it's Rumi, or maybe it's Mira. And then Zoe's also good. He's like, and it also has 2 cast members from Lost, the greatest show of all time. So that's already gonna have more stars, right? This is a 5-star movie. It's fantastic. It's very rewatchable too, and the songs get in your head, and it's good they'll be in your head because they're great songs. I don't even like K-pop, but if this is what K-pop is bringing us, this is fantastic. All right, number 1. What is it going to be? Do we know what's missing on the list yet? Do we know? Have you thought about it? Have you heard about it? Think about it for a second. It's one of my favorite. I won't give it as my favorite. I won't give you the exact rating, but it is definitely one of my favorite horror franchises of all time, if not the favorite. They're so fun. They're so complex with the kills. It's Final Destination Bloodlines. That's right. And I'm gonna say it's my favorite of the actual franchise as well. Oh, I'm not the only one to say that also. So I know that's true. But I love this, that we finally got a return to form after 5 is also really good. 4 was the one that's not great. All the other ones are great. And but it was like what, 10, 15 years or whatever since the last one. I don't know why it took so long. Part of it was for COVID, part of it's for other reasons, whatever. But they're gonna get the ball rolling in the sequel, I think probably next year. Or if not 2020, if not 2026, 2027. Because it's a gangbusters. This is great. I'll give you the box office real quick. I think it's the most profitable of all the movies, and rightfully so. It's so much fun. It's got great characters. It's one of the best characters of the entire franchise. And the tattooed guy, I can't think of his name right now. I'll give you a second. Where is he? Got a great send off for Tony Todd as well. Where is this guy's name? Eric. Richard Harmon as Eric. Yeah, I love that character. I love him. And the whole family aspect of it, chasing the bloodline, because they're death missed them the first time. The opening sequence is one of the best of the whole franchise. I mean, it's so good in every way. I watched it twice in theaters. I watched a few of these movies twice in theaters, but I don't watch a lot of movies twice in theaters, and this one I did. And it's just so, it is awesome. I mean, it keeps you guessing. It's suspenseful. It's funny. You're not sure it's going to get it next. It's got some great misleads. It got some great lore. It got some great creative ways of trying to outsmart them. Outsmart death, I should say. And new directors, Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein, with some continuing writers like Guy Busick. And I'm going to give you the quick box office real quick because this is why they're making more sequels. And it was a huge hit, and rightfully so. So $50 million for the budget, which is good. Opening weekend, $51 million for opening weekend. Is that right? I don't remember it being that much, but that was a lot. So 138 domestic, 138 million domestic, and 315 worldwide. I think that's the highest of all the whole franchise. I'm pretty sure it is. So I can't wait for more. I hope you can't as well. All right, now I'm gonna go into the 3 movies that are coming out. The rest of the year. I'll give you a quick one that hasn't come out yet. So, it'd be nice if I had the dates for these, don't I? Okay. So I believe first off, what's the third one? Do I not have the third one listed on here? Oh, well, the next one is the Frankenstein. Frankenstein on Netflix, November 7th. Big time. It's gonna be a big deal. Yeah, I don't have this on my horror list for whatever reason, but yeah, Frankenstein is definitely a horror movie. Obviously, it's a classic monster. This time done by Guillermo del Toro with a huge budget. I think it's 120 million or something like that. Had limited screenings, in theaters. I wish I could see it in theaters. I don't know if it's going to play around near me, but it's going to be on Netflix, and I'll watch it soon. 2.5 hours. Let's go through the cast real quick. I'm very excited for this. I love Guillermo del Toro. I know he's a huge fan of monsters in general, and he's a huge fan of Frankenstein. And this is going to be, going to make a spin on it like he did with a spin on Pinocchio, which is one of my favorites of his entire career, and also animation. All right, so I hit Guillermo del Toro instead of Frankenstein itself. All right, got Oscar Isaac as the actual, mad, Dr. Frankenstein. We got Jacob Elordi as the creature or Frankenstein's monster. Christoph Waltz, Mia Goth, Charles Dance, David Bradley. A few of the names there. Yeah. So I have only seen the trailer once. I wasn't wowed by it, but I think I saw a teaser. I don't want to see anymore. I try to avoid trailers if possible also. And yeah, I've heard good things about it. I think it's gonna be a good buzz. I think it's gonna get some awards attention. I'm excited for it. Absolutely, I'm excited for it. All right, I think the next one that's gonna be coming out soon is the second movie from Oscar Perkins this year. It's called Keeper. And if you watch that movie in theaters, you actually saw a teaser of this movie at the end after the credits, post credits. And I'm still kind of unclear what this movie's about. Tatiana Maslany is going to be on a trip with a boyfriend or a husband or something, and then they see sinister forces they have to deal with at a haunted house or a haunted cabin or something. No other real names in this movie, but it's coming a low budget, but it's decent buzz, and it's also the Nick Leppard wrote it, who also wrote Dangerous Animals, which I'm a big fan of. So I'm looking forward to Keeper. And then it's coming out November 14th, so next week. I'll be seeing that soon. All right, and then the last one is the one that people, you're really excited for. I don't know why this. I think if you're a fan of the games, if you know what I'm talking about, maybe that's why you're really excited for it. But I'm gonna rewatch Five Nights at Freddy's original because I only saw it once. I didn't like it that much. I think I gave it 3 stars. This next one though, number 2, looks much better. Are we actually gonna get killer animatronics in this movie as a star rather than flashbacks to finding your brother or being ghost children or whatever? Are we gonna get more of that this time? Because it seems like we are, and they're gonna be not just locked up in the house or what was that place anyway? Oh, an old Chuck E. Cheese type of place. They're gonna be on the run in the city, terrorizing you and your family. So all right, I'm excited for that. December 5th. They also increased the budget. I think it was 20 million for the first one, 50 million for the second one. That first one did huge numbers. And give you the numbers real quick. Why did this? Oh my gosh, why does everything suck right now? All right, well, my top of my screen left. Hold on, I'm just gonna give you the quick numbers for that one because they did really well at the box office. Yeah, so $80 million opening weekend, which is huge, and 137 domestic, 291 worldwide, $291 million worldwide. So that's why, we'll give it a shot. I hope this next one is much better. Same director, same Emma Tammy. I believe the same co-written by the creator of the actual games and stuff. So could be good. We'll have to see. I give everything a fair shake. I don't know though. All right, well, that's gonna wrap it up for me. Almost an hour and a half. I wish you would have joined me. Maybe you will next time, but hey, I'm going to cut it up and be there in the comments. And when I'm cut up on these videos, I'm going to make shorts. I'm going to add some actual trailer footage to these. So I'll give more of a visual aspect to it than just me on a microphone without seeing my cool ass friend's shirt with the monsters and the serial killers. So I got just for this live show that you didn't get to really show. And yeah, give me some thoughts in the comments. What was your like top 3? Awesome top 3 for horror movies of 2025, and your awful top 3. I'd love to hear that. Are some of my awful list some in your awesome list, or some awesome movies that you thought were great in my awful list, like Good Boy? People love that one. You know, I don't like it. Let me know in the comments. Please follow along again here on YouTube. Sorry, on YouTube on Rated Awesome Show, at Letterboxd at Rated Awesome, and at TikTok at Cinematic Joshua. Stay with me up to date. I very up to date with all these, especially on Letterboxd. Pretty much as soon as I watch a movie, a day or so after, I'll put a review on for it. I'll rank it with something. I'll also have tons of lists there. I think I have around 200 or so at this point, with directors, actors, genres, franchises, you name it. What you're most anticipated for the rest of 2025 altogether. Also 2026, I'll be working on that soon. So yeah, please join me, subscribe, tell a friend, be a hero. Now go forth and be awesome.